Welcome to our channel, Paint to Pin. So let's start the video. Capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system where individuals and businesses own and control resources, and economic activity is driven by the pursuit of profit through competitive markets. Syndicalism. Syndicalism is a socio-political movement that advocates for the organization of society through trade unions or syndicates. It promotes the idea that workers should control and manage the means of production, eliminating hierarchical structures and establishing a system based on direct worker participation and decision-making. Syndicalism aims to achieve economic and social justice by empowering workers and creating a society where labor is the central force in shaping economic and political systems. Libertarianism. Libertarianism is a political philosophy that emphasizes individual liberty, limited government intervention, and free markets. It advocates for maximum personal freedom and minimal state interference in both economic and social matters. Libertarians believe that individuals have the right to live their lives as they choose, as long as they do not infringe upon the rights and freedoms of others. They advocate for the protection of private property rights, voluntary exchange, and the belief that free markets are the most efficient way to allocate resources and create prosperity. Libertarianism encompasses a range of views, from moderate forms that advocate for a minimal state to more radical variants that argue for the abolition of government altogether. Communism. Communism is a socio-political ideology and economic system based on the principles of collective ownership of resources and the absence of social classes. In a communist society, the means of production, such as land, factories, and industries, are owned and controlled by the community as a whole. The goal of communism is to create a classless society, where wealth and resources are distributed according to individuals' needs, rather than their ability to accumulate capital. Communism envisions the abolition of private property, the eradication of economic inequality, and the establishment of a stateless and egalitarian society. It is often associated with the ideals of social justice, equality, and cooperation. However, historical attempts to implement communism have often resulted in authoritarian regimes and limitations on personal freedoms. Anarchism. Anarchism is a political philosophy that advocates for the absence of government and hierarchical authority. It promotes a society based on voluntary cooperation, mutual aid, and individual freedom. Anarchists oppose all forms of coercion and believe that individuals should be free to govern themselves and make decisions collectively through voluntary associations. Anarchism seeks to dismantle oppressive institutions and create a society where power is decentralized and individuals have maximum autonomy. It encompasses a wide range of perspectives, from those advocating for nonviolent direct action and grassroots organizing, to those who believe in revolutionary means to achieve a stateless and egalitarian society. Feminism. Feminism is a social and political movement that advocates for the equal rights, opportunities, and empowerment of all genders. It challenges and seeks to dismantle systemic gender-based discrimination, oppression, and patriarchy. Feminism promotes the belief that individuals of all genders should have equal access to education, employment, healthcare, and political representation. It addresses a wide range of issues, including reproductive rights, violence against women, wage inequality, and gender stereotypes. Feminism recognizes and values diverse experiences and perspectives while striving for a more just and equitable society for all genders. Nazism. Nazism, short for National Socialism, refers to the political ideology and practices associated with Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in Germany during the 1930s and 1940s. Nazism is characterized by extreme nationalism, authoritarianism, and a racist and anti-Semitic worldview. It promotes the belief in the superiority of the Aryan race and advocates for the establishment of a totalitarian state led by a single leader with absolute power. Nazism sought to create a racially pure society through the persecution, discrimination, and ultimately the extermination of minority groups, particularly Jews. It also emphasized militarism, expansionism, and the suppression of dissenting voices. The Nazi regime was responsible for committing numerous atrocities, including the Holocaust during World War II. Today, Nazism is widely condemned as a symbol of hate, racism, and genocide. Authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is a form of governance characterized by strong central authority and limited individual freedoms. In an authoritarian system, power is concentrated in the hands of a single leader or a small group, often without meaningful checks and balances or democratic processes. The government typically exercises strict control over political dissent, media, and civil liberties, suppressing opposition and dissenting voices. Authoritarian regimes often prioritize stability and order over individual rights and tend to employ censorship, surveillance, and repression to maintain control. Citizens may have limited political participation and may face restrictions on their freedom of expression, assembly, and association. Authoritarianism can take various forms, ranging from military dictatorships to one-party states. Transhumanism. Transhumanism is a philosophical and intellectual movement that explores the potential for enhancing human capabilities through the use of science, technology, and biotechnological advancements. It advocates for the ethical and responsible use of these tools to overcome human limitations and improve physical, cognitive, and emotional capacities. Transhumanists believe in the possibility of transcending current human abilities, such as extending lifespan, enhancing mental faculties, and even achieving post-human states through techniques like genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, and cyborg technologies. The movement also emphasizes the importance of individual autonomy and choice in deciding how to enhance oneself. Transhumanism raises various ethical, social, and philosophical questions about the nature of human identity, equality, and the potential risks and benefits of transformative technologies. Progressivism. Progressivism is a political and social philosophy that advocates for social reform and improvement through governmental intervention and collective action. Progressives prioritize addressing social, economic, and political issues to achieve greater equality, justice, and well-being for all members of society. They seek to address systemic problems such as poverty, inequality, discrimination, and environmental degradation. Progressivism supports policies such as social welfare programs, labor protections, civil rights, healthcare reform, and environmental regulations. Progressives often emphasize the importance of evidence-based decision-making, scientific advancements, and inclusive democratic processes in shaping public policies. The movement has evolved over time and can be found across various political spectrums, including both left-leaning and centrist ideologies. Republicanism. Republicanism is a political ideology and system of government that emphasizes the principles of representative democracy, civic virtue, and the rule of law. Republicans advocate for a republic where political power is vested in the citizens and exercised through elected representatives. Republicanism values the protection of individual rights, the separation of powers, and the accountability of government officials. It emphasizes the importance of public participation, civic responsibility, and the common good. Republicans often support limited government intervention in the economy, individual freedoms, and a strong national defense. However, it is important to note that the meaning and interpretation of republicanism can vary across different countries and historical contexts. Socialism. Socialism is a socio-economic system characterized by the collective ownership and democratic control of the means of production. In socialism, the resources, industries, and services are owned and managed by the community as a whole or the state on behalf of the people. The primary goal of socialism is to create a more equitable society by reducing economic inequality and ensuring the fair distribution of wealth and resources. Socialism aims to prioritize social welfare, public goods, and the needs of the entire society over individual profit. It often involves government intervention in the economy, such as through nationalization of industries, wealth redistribution, and the provision of social services like healthcare and education. However, the specific implementation and interpretation of socialism can vary, ranging from democratic socialism to more authoritarian forms of socialism.